Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're addressing a pretty big issue on the Jeep. Apart from the lights hanging out of it from collecting rocks. Whoa. The biggest issue we have here is that the front bar just looks like shit and there's no spot for a winch. So with a little bit of luck we'll sort that out. I'll show you guys what we got. This is actually a kit off Facebook Marketplace that a bloke sells. When we get all the pieces out, that's what we're left with. The pieces that brace to the body are 6mm, and he said the rest was 3mm, but it looks pretty thick. I'm not too sure. He was a good bloke. When he was putting it together, he did say he was missing one of these, so he did give me a spare winch plate, and we're just gonna have to plasma cut a new section out of it. Now we pretty much have the task of cleaning up all these edges. They're not a bad cut. We just want them to be clean steel for when we weld it. It might give all the tops, all the faces a bit of a sand too. So we're gonna put some what we got there? Grey etch primer and Dulux metal shield on it. Rather unexciting hour of grinding. So we'll get into it sooner rather than later. Thank goodness that is done. That was a long time, man. We've got a little pile of bull bar. I haven't ground them yet because I'll wait till we put the bull bar on the car and sort of see where they're going to go. I'm just going to sort of tack it all up, get into a rough position, make sure that they actually sit where they're supposed to sit. Because we're going to end up putting a frame stiffeners on this. So that'll add 3mm to either side. None of it is right angle bull bar either. It's all sort of little angles. So I think it's more just going to be like a tack up and sort of, it's going to be like a tack and bend scenario. Try and get it pretty close. So we'll do have the little MIG here. We'll be using the Uni MIG. What is it? 182. To get it done. So we'll put that together and start tacking it up. halfway through welding this up, and you can try and see. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to lap them on a corner, so that's a better example. So when we do weld it and grind it all smooth, we're not grinding all the weld away. You do have little problems like this though, where a tack, that's the tack for the back corner, is getting in the way. So we do occasionally have to just get in there and grind a little bit. Another day. Camera died yesterday. Wow. Camera died yesterday while I was welding it up. So that's where we're at. Still got some tacks. Some of it's been welded, ground. We are going for the smooth look on it. I don't want any welded edges. Well, you see them anyway. We sort of want like a factory looking bar. But it is about time we rip the stock bar off. I don't really want to keep welding on this until we got those mounts sorted and we know it's all going to look pretty Mickey Mouse. I did have a quick look under there. We got like a vacuum canister and a few weird things, man. We got to sort of try and address. So we might as well rip into that while we got some daylight and make some noise, and come back to welding this maybe later, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Let's do it. That's where we're at, guys. I did race ahead a little bit, ripped that old bumper off. We've chucked these braces on. I did have to do a little bit of trimming around the sway bar there. And this hole will have to be drilled out a little bit. I also do need to get some extra bolts for this side. A couple bolts where the steering box would be if you were in Miracle. Anyway, also have to chop. We did do a little bit of chopping. About there. Bit of this come off. Have to take it up to this line here to miss everything. So I'll do that now. A little bit more chopping. Whack it back on there. Also, I did take out these side plates just to see where we were in comparison to those braces that go onto the frame. It's pretty good. So yeah, we'll get to cutting this, and I don't know how much more we'll get done tonight, to be honest. Hopefully we can... Man, it'd be good if we can just get it up and then get it welded. That'd be sick. A little bit of daylight left. See how much we can get done. So I've just sprayed some zinc gal on the faces. They're going to get pushed hard up against... So that face goes hard up against this side, and the other face goes hard up against this side. So because they won't be seen, I did spray a little bit of gal on them. It's probably going to burn off, but we tried. And you see the white mark there? Oh, focus up. Is where we've got to grind. So I might just get the finger sander in there, give it a bit of a clean up, and then I'll turn this thing back on when we zap it on the car. getting a bit late. I'm going to try and correct a little bit of panel gap. You see about a 10mm gap there. On this side, well, this side's probably about the same. Nonetheless, it is annoying me. So I'm going to try just to jack. Oh, so I'm just going to try to jack that up a little bit when I weld it onto the actual body, onto the. What am I trying to say?
I was going to foot him.
So I'm just going to try and jack that up as I weld it onto those braces, and we'll see if it corrects. If it doesn't, whatever. If it does, cool. So there we go. Ball bars off the Jeep, guys, and it's about time we weld these braces in for reals, not just tack them. So next little clip will be just us buzzing them on, I suppose, and then probably just welding, try and get most of it welded tonight, and then weld is not too noisy, come back another, maybe tomorrow, I got tomorrow off, so we'll come back another day and grind it all back. Smooth. Hey guys, it's a new day. We're going to start off by chopping our winch section. I've got it marked out here. This is just a piece of scrap from the steel shop. They do have pieces out the front that people aren't using or they've cut wrong or whatever else. They do sell them for a little bit cheaper. Let's try to use them most of the time. Most of the time you get something that's pretty close to what you need. We'll have a fair bit left over. I overestimated how much we're going to use out of that, but that's sweet. We cut that out, welded on the winch plate. Still a little bit early. By the time we get that welded on, it should be late enough to start grinding. Let's do it. Marks on the winch body. Focus, man. where the bolt holes are. And we've just transferred them down onto the bottom. So when we do pull that off, we can just trace mark to mark and we'll have our 4 points of where the winch will actually bolt to. So we'll go ahead and drill them, and I think it'll be time to put it on the bar. We have our completed winch plate here at the moment. Oh, it's tacked together. That's pretty much what we're going to go for. It's pretty simple. Big old beefy plate up top. Sides on. We do have these nuts and bolts in, because when that's up against the ball bar welded, we won't be able to get those bolts through. I don't know if that focused or not. When it's up against the ball bar, we won't be able to get those bolts through. We'll be able to do them up, so we'll just weld that as it is. That'll be about it for welding. Should be nice. Just ran out of gas and we just finished welding that plate on, so that worked out alright. I do have some recovery rings to put on still. Might have to TIG them on. Not too sure yet. But winch plate's on. Welded it inside and the outside. As you can see up in there, I don't know if you can, yeah. You can get to those 2 bolts with the spanner, but there's no way you'd get them up through there. So now it's time to grind it all back smooth. Well, it's on the outside anyway. We will paint. I'll make up my mind whether I'm going to put these recovery points on or not. I need something, I guess. So maybe I will weld them on there. Yeah. We'll get to grinding and I'll have to think about that while we're doing that. Pretty happy so far. It's looking good. I didn't want to bore you guys with the grinding again, so I just went ahead and did it off camera. All ground down. I think I will use these little recovery points. We do need something. So I've ground a pretty big bevel into them. So we'll try and get a couple passes on the TIG them up. Hopefully they don't ever come off. Just get that done. Man, we ran out of gas on the TIG as well. It's not going well. I might just put the MIG back on. Gauge is saying empty, but sometimes there's a little bit left in it. Might try and get it with the MIG. Really don't want to go out. So we'll try to get that welded on with that. And I don't know, with this one, I might actually dump that one. Just, I need somewhere for the number plate. So maybe we'll just run the run recovery point. I had no luck with that hoping method of hoping the gas was in there. Pretty much ran out after one pass, so did run out and get another couple, or get another bottle. Welded the lug on there though. Did knock this one off. There is just nowhere for a number plate if I do that, unless I go over the winch with a little flip down, but no, we're starting to become a little bit of effort there. Just run the plate over this side, recovery point this side, grind the last little bits down, be ready to chuck some paint on it. Getting keen. We are currently painting. I have I've chucked one coat of primer on already. We're just about to do the black. I am doing it in the carport just so I can keep doing stuff on the Jeep. I want to try and get this rooftop back on with some different sort of brackets. Go check it out. So just like that, it is painted now. It did fall off. I'm just leaving it. We'll just see how it dries. Hopefully it dries sooner rather than later. Chuck it back on the car. I will show you what we're doing at the moment. I've just chopped the looms where the wires were. We're just putting some dual wall heat shrink on there and heating it up and pinching the ends. The glue will seal the heat shrink. So we just have to do this side. So we'll get to doing that. Just like that, guys, we have weather tight wires now. We'll just loop these up under here or something. We're not going to use them. I didn't want to cut them off in case we do add some lights onto the bull bar later. At least we've got the loom there. Everything should work. We'll trim those heat shrink back and we'll be able to chuck some lights on it easy peasy. I do want to make up an L bracket to suit this other side. I want to match this over here. It does just have these clips on it at the moment. They're real pocks, so we'll give it a good bracket. We can tie into these two bolts here, sort of grab the whole front of the frame rail. So it'll give the paint a little bit more time to dry, I guess. But I'm super impatient. We're definitely putting that thing on wet and totally going to ruin it, but already knew before we started that. Also chucked the rooftop on. It was actually pretty easy to get off the wall. So if you didn't think it was going to be easy, you're wrong. Very easy. Anyway, we'll get to doing this bracket, I guess. Got the L bracket on the car, looking pretty slick. Gonna tie in nicely. Got the bar from down there. Just chuck this on to kill some time. Got to cut a little bit out. I knew that. I knew I had to cut for the winch, but I forgot. And we painted it, and it's too late to cut it. So oh well, I guess we'll cut that tomorrow. And so I guess tonight we'll pull the grill off, and probably call it a night. Super keen to use this winch and see if my bull bar snaps in half. Also super keen to get ripped out of the mud with that D-ring and see if it turns into a missile or if my welds are actually okay. So might go get stuck when we put this on, we'll see. I do have to give this camera back to me mate. I just borrowed this off him because he doesn't really use it too often. I don't have a camera, I'm not too certain whether I was going to pursue the YouTube video life yet or not, so sort of borrow his thing, see how it goes first. So the finish of this might be on my cheapo GoPros. So the video quality is obviously better on this camera, has the mic, and then I use the GoPros sort of where I can. I try to use them cutting and stuff where this one might get damaged. They do have a pretty good lens on them. It'd be sick if you could sort of adjust this lens, but you probably can. I don't know enough about it. So yeah, when I do have to give this back, so I'll be finishing the video with the GoPros, so I'll probably just chuck them on, and there will be no talking because they do have a mic, but it's really shit. So just to let you guys know, tomorrow hopefully when we chuck that on, this will be the last time you hear this voice mate, today. Anyway, since I won't get to say it later, thanks for watching another episode. Hope it's alright, hope it's going alright. Hope it's inspiring you guys to do your own thing. It's definitely making me not jump all over the place, start different shit. Actually finishing something for a change, which is nice. And next I guess we're going to have to do a rear bar. So hang around for that. Guess what guys, this old analog clock found the voiceover button, so here we go. Not even the last time you're hearing this voice, we get to finish it properly. Here we are, just marking out the grill because we are going to have to cut that for the winch. Was all planned already, I knew that would have to happen, but I would rather bring the winch into the grill and not sacrifice the approach angle. As well as that, I did end up going for the flip down option, so I probably just should have went ahead and welded that recovery lug on the other side, but well, it's done now. Super happy with how it turned out. Looks pretty schmicko. Last thing was to find a spot for that vacuum canister, which we done quite easily. It's pretty important on the Jeep to run that vacuum canister, so you know, you do have to find somewhere for it. It did fit nicely behind the bull bar. For watching another episode. Next I guess we're going to have to do a rear bar, so hang around for that.